You know what your charges are? Attempted auto theft, battery, and theft. I can't hear you.
Yes, I didn't know about the theft.
Oh, you didn't know? That was back from '08.
Well, I was liking this girl and she was liking me, but she had a boyfriend. And I had took her from him and he couldn't handle it. So he acted like he wanted to fight. So I started beating him up and he pulled out a knife and started cutting me. And he cut me like 6 times, like right here on my forehead and on my chin and on my arm. And then one on my side and one in my back. The girl that was with me, she called the ambulance and the police was like, yeah, we're taking you to jail. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm the victim. He said, well, that's not what we understand. They said that every witnesses say that you were the aggressor and you started the fight, so we taking you to jail. I'm like, man, I'm not going to jail. My girlfriend came to visit me and I said, I'm jumping out the window. She was like, what? I said, yeah, I'm jumping out the window. So the first couple of days I was doing push-ups and strengthening my body so I can climb out the window. So I tied a couple sheets together and climbed out the window. My girlfriend was waiting in the parking lot for me. So then I tried to run home. I ran home and my mom had to come pick me up the next day. She drove from Indiana to come pick me up. I brought my girlfriend here with me. And then I get arrested for attempt carjacking and battery.
Arrested?
Home.
Where was home, in Illinois or in Hammond? Who do you live there with?
My mother.
And your dad lives in Illinois?
No, my dad lives in New York.
Oh, in New York. How long has he lived in New York?
For a while now, like a couple of years.
You have been detained with us 5 times, and you've been here for a total of 161 days.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
We was at the basketball court. They left their keys. Someone left their keys on the ground. I picked them up and tried to go get the car, but it was out of gas, and I came back to put gas in it, and people was like, hey, man, give me my keys. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, yeah, someone said they seen you take the keys from the basketball court. I'm like, well, I said I ain't got them. They tried to check my pockets, and I was like, oh, man, get off me. So I ran, and when I was running, I threw the keys in the bushes, and they weren't trying to hurt me. They was just trying to hold me till the police came. So I'm like, man, let me go. And I started swinging and punching, and I blacked a couple of their eyes, so they charged me with battery and took me to jail. I got on August 5th, and then I came back August 30th for a bench warrant because they ran a nationwide search on me and found out that, oh, he's wanted in St. Louis. So we got to take him to jail and see if St. Louis is going to pick him up. They said they was going to pick me up, but they still ain't came pick me up. So they're trying to extradite me across the street. They're trying to send me across the street and deal with my cases charge me as an adult, because they said I've been taking too many cars and I'm a menace to society and I belong behind bars. That's what the judge told me.
You're in quite a predicament with us, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're 18?
Yes.
Did you know that when you turned 18 that you could still be arrested for things that you did as a juvenile? You didn't know that?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of kids don't realize that just because you turn 18, if you're on probation or you have pending charges, they don't disappear automatically when you become an adult. You have a responsibility to still make sure that you fulfill your responsibilities of probation.
It was a surprise. I didn't know. I didn't even know. They just said, oh, yeah, you got a warrant. I said, what? I guess I had to go. I couldn't run or nothing like that. So I just had to I'm ready to get it over with because I'm 18 now. I'm ready to move on with my life and change, you know what I'm saying, make a different page. Because I'm tired of this juvenile jail stuff. I'm tired of jail, period.
So what do you want the court to do with you?
Well, I want to go home, but it's probably not in the possibility right now, but I hope I can go home. If anything, give me a commitment here. Don't send me across the street, because if they send me across the street, I'm gonna have a felony, adult felony, and then my life is gonna be basically ruined if I get an adult felony.
Yeah, because you're 18.
I know.
And over there, they don't give a crap about rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna want you to go to placements or get counseling, and they're not gonna ask you what has happened in your life. They don't care. I mean, you have to, you know, I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you that. How many people have told you that?
Like a handful.
A handful? So at what point are you gonna like let it soak through, maybe do something different?
That's all I ever got in trouble for was driving. When I was 10, I had just moved to Maryville. I was like the only black guy out there, and there was another guy told me he had a member, his dad like basically owned the golf course. So he's like, yeah, we can go drive the golf carts. So I'm like, all right. We went to go drive the golf carts, and we took them into the trails and wrecked them. They said we wrecked about $5,000 worth of merchandise, and ever since then, I can't stop getting behind the wheel. I just love driving, period. And then we went back the next day, and all of them were gone. He was like, well, all we gotta do is go get some more, because they leave the keys in the golf carts. So we went to go take them, and they arrested us like, yeah, you're going to jail for vandalism, and you trashed like $5,000 worth of merchandise. But all I had to do was write an essay to the judge because I guess because I was so young. And that's where all the driving started. Like I like to smoke weed, but when the probation officer says no weed, you know, like, cause that's not my, like, I do it just to do it. It's not my thing, like driving. When they say no driving, I still drive because that's my thing. But when they say no weed or things that I don't really like doing like that, I can quit it. But driving's just my thing. I just like driving because most of the time I'm not drunk or high. I don't even drink. I might drink on special occasions if someone asks me to, but no. So I do bad things when I'm sober. You know, I love driving.
Any other cars?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like I was walking down the street and I seen somebody had left the keys in the ignition and I took that car too.
True driving for real. And he always going high. He's got a need for speed. It's not just a video game. People really need it. He always going high.
Yeah, I've been in 2 high-speed chases. 3, 4. I think I have a decision-making problem. That's what I think I do because, like, when decision comes, I know right from wrong, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's wrong, but I just do what I like to do instead of what's right. I mean, I think I might have been in danger to the environment a couple of times, but I'm not forever no danger to the environment. It's not like all I do is drive recklessly. I do what I want to do. I do what I want. Like I do what I like to do. Basically, if I like to drive, if I want that car and I like that car and I want to drive it, and I know, I'll be like, oh man, I know if I get behind the wheel of this car, I might go back to jail or I might be ended up in a bad situation. But it's just for the thrill of the moment. I think about, it's not, most people say, oh, I didn't think about the consequences, but me, I analyze everything. That's just the person that I am. I think about everything before it happens. It's just that I guess I just really don't care. Yeah, the judge said I was in danger to the environment and menace to society because when I be in the cars, I be trying to get away and I be doing like 90 miles per hour and they say I could hurt somebody. I never did hurt nobody though. Because I'm a real good driver. Real good driver. Like I said, school has always been good for me, so I have extra credits. Then I have more credits than I'm supposed to. I don't even, if I wouldn't have gotten in trouble, all I had to do was go to this school till December, and I would have been done. But since I'm in here, I'm falling behind, so I probably have to finish school for the rest of the year. I didn't even have to go to school for the rest of the year. And if I wouldn't have gotten in trouble last year, I could have graduated last year. But I got in trouble last year too. And that's why I don't want to go across the street. Because if I go over there, my education's shot. By the time I get out of jail, I'm gonna be too old to go to high school, and then I'm gonna have to be forced to get a GED. And I think I'm above a GED. I think I deserve my high school diploma. You don't have to be from bad neighborhoods, and you can come from good neighborhoods and still do bad things. It's just the bad choices that you choose. You really don't have to have a bad path or a bad background because my parents have always provided for me, and they always gave me everything I wanted. So you don't have to be coming from the struggle, as everyone say, or come from a bad neighborhood just to be doing bad things, because I came from a good neighborhood and I came from a good family, but I still just made bad choices. Sometimes I be seeking that, seeking guidance. And like my mom tries, but she can only do so much. She can't teach me everything, Like she can't teach me how to be a man. No matter how hard she tries her best. But there's some things that mother just can't teach. It has to be from a man. And she even got me mentors and stuff like that. but it's like they didn't work either. It's like I want my dad around, and he knows I want him, but my mom don't want him around either because he's just like me. It might seem like we don't want structure, but we don't want to be just out of control. Like sometimes we don't listen to people, but sometimes we need that direction that, oh yeah, do this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving us the option to do other things, sometimes we need that.
Is there a room I can? Is there a room I can put him in?
Right outside the door, unless you want the in the cell.
Let me take the agreement from the state. What would happen is that you're going to be released, but there's a hold on you, and you'd be transported to Illinois. Otherwise, this would be set for a waiver hearing, and then we would have basically a trial to determine whether or not you should be sent across the street. Okay, you understand all that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to my mom, so I need some personal counseling.
Why is that?
I'm undecided. I have this.
Did they offer you a plea? Is that what it is?
They offered me a plea. Hello. Hey, Mom. They told me that that they'll release me from here if I plead guilty. They'll release me from here, no probation, no nothing, and then no ties. But then they have a hold on me from Illinois, but they're gonna hold me for Illinois. Yeah, cause I was thinking like maybe I'll just get it over with here and then go down there and see what they're gonna do down there. See if maybe I can get it over faster, but it don't really. I guess he said that they'd send me over there and I'd face the charges over there or whatever. And that if I go to trial and I lose, they're gonna try to give me the max time over there. Yes, ma'am. I love you too.
Do you have any idea what you're gonna do? What should I forward on to your attorney?
Not guilty.
You don't want to take the plea?
No.
Okay. I'll let them know.
If they trying to cop me out just to make me plead guilty, then they probably don't have enough evidence to hold it against me anyway, I figured. So I figured I'll just have to fight the case, and I didn't even really do it. I have did a lot of things, but this time I didn't even think I'm in here for now. I didn't even do it. They just came to pick me up. So I ain't gonna plead guilty to it if I didn't do it. Usually I cop out, but I'm listening to what my mama say.
As you've seen, most of the kids think they're grown at 13 and can make their own decisions without any parental input. So for him at 18 to be so concerned of mom's input it's kind of unusual, yeah. You know, they generally think that they can make their own decisions and they'll just take the consequences as they roll. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised actually, and I'm surprised that he did that because he presents so that, you know, he's doesn't really care what anybody else thinks or does, and you know, and that he is grown and so forth. So I honestly am a little surprised.
What we're here for, what we got to talk about is from my understanding is that you talked to your mom. She went ahead and indicated to you that you should deny the charges and have it set for a waiver hearing. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Well, then I'll let the state know then that it's your position. You're going to not accept the proposal that was offered to resolve your cases, and what will happen then is at the hearing that's set for today, it'll be set over for a waiver hearing, at which time if the state is able to prove its burden, you're going to be going across the street then, and you'll sit there to stand trial as an adult for these charges, okay?
Why can't I do trial over here?
I'm sorry?
So I'm not going to be doing trial over here?
The only way that happens is if the state is unable to be successful at the waiver hearing. If they're unable to meet the burdens that they have at the waiver hearing, then you'll be set for trial here. if they're able to meet their burdens, which is to show that there's a probable cause that you committed this offense, and also that there's no a treatment in the juvenile system that they can offer you, the juvenile system can offer to you, then you're going to be sent across the street. If the state,
See, I wanted to avoid all that. I'm willing to plead guilty to this, but I want to assure that I can get back here.
Well,
If you accept your deal, it's a juvenile charge.
yeah, I asked him about that.
Okay, and did you ask him about will you have the opportunity at a later date for expungement, because it's juvenile?
no,
You know,
do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand that.
He thinks by staying in Indiana, if it goes to waiver, even if he gets waived to adult court, he thinks that Illinois will then not continue to pursue the charges there. You know, I tried to make Aaron understand that whether Illinois comes and gets him today, 2 weeks from today, 10 years from today, Illinois is not going to drop those charges. He is going to be accountable for those charges in Illinois, and those are going to occur only after he's completed the court process through Indiana. We cannot address what Illinois will do, but what I want you to understand is that charge is not going to go away. And the charge that you're dealing with here is right now still a juvenile charge. And if it gets waived, it now becomes an adult charge, which are two different things. Once you have an adult charge, you have no opportunity whatsoever of that charge going away, like you do with a juvenile charge, because you can file for the court to expunge it. But once you get an adult, if it's a felony and you got an adult felony, think about getting a job, Aaron. You got to put that on your application as an adult with a felony charge. Okay, that's all I'm trying to get you, I want you to understand, and that's why I was trying to encourage you to speak to him to find out, in fact, if you would have the opportunity for expungement.
That's absolutely correct. And you're looking at two felonies right now at 17 years, or oh, you're 18 now, aren't you? So that's not a good start. But at least if this went through, you accepted this resolution, what would end up happening is you get your life straightened out, go to school, get a job, you'd always be able to come back and ask the court to expunge it, and you would show the court that I'm on the right track now, my life's in order, and then the court would consider that in its determination. It's set for a hearing, and the judge will set a waiver hearing, and that may be in 3 to 4 weeks or so, at which time the state's going to have to prove or show that there's probable cause he committed this offense, and there's already a waiver report showing that the probation's asking that this matter be waived. So it's going to be pretty tough.
Aaron has a waiver hearing set for tomorrow, and I do believe that he has been in contact off and on with his attorney. His attorney has come to the detention center and has spoken with him several times, and I think they've discussed his options. And one option is taking, a plea agreement to admitting to the charges here, and if he does that, I do believe they'll dismiss those charges, but let him go back to Illinois to face, his pending issues that he has in Illinois.
They want you to they want me to plead guilty to something, then they'll drop something. But they say it's a plea bargain, and then they'll give me credit for time served. I'm thinking like I'm ready to go home, I'm just ready to get it over with. I think now I regret, I regret saying I'm innocent. I just want to get it over with.
I'm not quite sure. A lot of times when we do have kids here in Indiana and they do have charges in Illinois, sometimes they have to go through what they call an interstate compact. Illinois is funny about coming to get kids over here even though they want them.
I feel like I'm getting a little institutionalized in here, so I'd rather just go take care of this and then go straight into that and then be done with it. But as soon as I'm done, I'm done. No more probation, no more restrictions. I can move on with my life, get a good job, and put this behind me,
When Aaron goes to court today, if they did not accept the plea bargain, and he is facing waiver, then he would be, if he does get waived, that means he's going to adult court, which would mean as soon as the court order's signed, he goes across the street to the Lake County Jail. Then he would be there until he gets bonded out. And then, he has to go through the court process there. And then he'll still have the Illinois aspect pending. This is your waiver, right?
No, they gonna tell me.
Huh?
No.
What do you mean, no?
They told me that it's different. Like they told me if I plead guilty to something, they gonna drop something. I don't know.
Have you agreed to do that?
Yeah.
So you're plea bargaining it? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
And you've agreed to that with the prosecutor?
No, they did it. They did everything. I ain't even have to do nothing. They just came.
But I mean, you agreed with it through your public defender and the prosecutor?
Yes. I'm trying to figure out what they want me to plead guilty
So
to.
you're gonna plea, okay, so then it's not a waiver, so then you're gonna, okay. But if you don't accept the plea,
then it's a waiver.
then it's a waiver and you subject to going across the street, correct?
Yes.
Well, what are you gonna do if you speak to your mom and she convinces you to change your mind? Because Aaron, if it goes to waiver, you're going across the street to Lake County. I'm saying if it goes to waiver, you go to Lake County, you're going to have to post bond in order to get out, and then you're going to have to go through the whole court process as an adult, which in turn, you're still going to be facing Illinois when that's over. Okay?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I don't want that to do that, but sometimes I be like, that's better, because then they ain't gonna, I don't know. I just ready to I'm gonna get it over with though. Just go ahead, stay here, then go there, whatever.
Okay, so you're gonna take the plea agreement?
Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do.
All righty. Because it could be a very, very long process if you get waived and you have to, because now you need bond money, and then you can sit there till you get bonded.
Like, cause I have 2 charges, and what if I didn't want to plead guilty to the one that they trying to make me plead guilty to?
Well, then you got some decisions to make, man. Quick, real quick.
See what my mama got to say. She gonna be like, so I told you, son.
Well, I mean, like you said, you're 18. It's time you gotta start. But it's like anything in life, Aaron. Whatever decision you choose to make today, you have to take the consequences that go with it, whether it be negative or positive. That's just life.
She thinks that if I stay in here long enough that.
That Illinois is going to disappear?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, Aaron.
That's what I was trying to say. But
it's not going to happen. I tried to explain that to you, the last time. It doesn't matter if you're here 10 years. They're going to be waiting at the door at the end of 10 years when you walk out because,
That's absurd. They probably want me to plead guilty to that. For felony fleeing and eluding from the police.
So you really don't know which charge they're offering you the plea on? Okay.
So you gotta decide now. I can't make it for you. You're gonna have to decide yourself.
What do you think?
I thought you decided you wanted to move on with your life.
I did. All right, come on.
Okay, so are you doing the plea agreement then?
Come on.
Okay.
Man, I'm up there.
And it's my understanding the parties have reached an agreement to resolve this matter short of the waiver hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ashburn, is this the agreement as you understand it? Mr. Ashburn, is this the agreement as you understand it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Mr. Ashburn. Can you speak up, please?
Yes.
The record will note that his mother's left the room. Mr. Ashburn, you have some reluctance to enter into this agreement? Is there a reason why you're refusing to respond?
How would you feel if your mom walked out on you?
Sorry, sir?
How would you feel if your mother walked out on you?
Mr. Ashburn? We'll reconvene on December 18th at 9 o'clock. Be prepared to go forward with the waiver. I won't accept any agreements.
My mama walked out on me.
Out of court? Why did you accept the plea?
She got mad. I don't know what. Man, I didn't say anything. I just sat there and didn't say nothing. She walked out. She walked out.
She walked out. Why did you? It was because you took the plea? Is that what you think, dude?
It was. I just like, man, I didn't understand. Like, they both sound like two bad things to me. I know for a fact you guys are right, that everyone's right, you know, that it's better to get it over with. Like, it sounds good to go across the street and bail out, but I know that I still gonna have to face it. I'm still gonna have to face it. This only gonna postpone it. I could be here, sitting in here for months and months and months, and then finally they say, all right, we don't got enough evidence, it's dropped. And I'm like, what happens with all that time I just did? I've been here for 6 months, what happens to that? Oh, it's just done. Or now you have to go across the street and go to St. Louis anyway. I could have been 6 months into whatever I have to do in St. Louis. She don't see that, man.
Right.
That was just the worst thing she could have ever did. She never did nothing like that before. I just don't know what to do, man. She don't. I feel like if I ain't got my mom, I ain't got nobody.